Well, hello there. It's been a while. It's been really busy and crazy since I've finished up all my book signings and everything. And it's kind of a snowy bit of a snow day here. So I thought, you know what, it's time to get back on the wagon and talk about some things that I'd like to talk about. Is there an upside to having no social life? I've often thought about this because I don't have a huge social life. People look at me and they say, oh my goodness, you're so outgoing and, you're so upbeat and everything all the time. But that doesn't mean to say that I have a social life. So I found an article by Madeline Dorr, and she took an entire month and declined all in-person activities with friends to see if it would make her more productive. And what she found was extremely surprising. So the trick to being successful, whether you're a writer, an artist, or anything that you're doing, if you're like an entrepreneur, is pretty simple. So Madeline Dorr says that her own experience of interviewing highly successful artists, writers, creative entrepreneurs, she found the one common strain throughout everybody, and that was that they didn't have a social life. I wonder if there's something into this. So let's talk a little bit about what she talks about, a time sink. So if you're a writer or an artist, you're probably a freelancer working from home. So while everybody else goes off to work for the day, you tend to maybe justify a very active social life as being a basic human necessity. Is it really? Well, there are many times where, I would love to be social, and sometimes I'm more social than I should be. But it dawned on me, as well as what this author is saying, is how much time I was actually spending socializing, and realized that I maybe needed to cut back a little on that so that I had more time to do what was really important. And that, in my case, was writing. So if you calculate, for example, you spend 22 hours a week on social activities. So in a bid to see what would happen, what can happen to your work output, health and well-being, maybe try and cut out the social life entirely. So Madeline Dorr says, she knew that at times she filled her schedule simply out of fear of missing out, an inability to say no, but also as a sneaky way to procrastinate or shift focus away from her work. I have the hardest time saying no when one of my kids calls me or a friend calls me and they want to have a cup of tea or, Grandma, can you babysit? I have a really hard time saying no. And even over the past couple of weeks when I haven't really been doing my podcasts here, it wasn't really for the fact that I actually didn't have time if I would have carved it out. Yes, there were other things that came up in my life that took extra time away from, my writing and what I needed to be doing and focused on with my writing. But some of these things I really could have said no to. So maybe I should, follow Madeline Dorr's advice and for 1 month decline all in-person activities with my friends, going out for drinks, coffee catch-ups, dinners, parties, non-existent work-related events, to see if it would make me more productive and improve my focus and career prospects. So having said all this in this introduction here, I'm going to leave it there for today, and I'm going to come back tomorrow and see what it was that Madeline Dorr discovered 31 days later after eliminating her social life. Going to be interesting. Okay? So, this is Canadian author Mary M. Cushnie-Mansour, your writer on the run, signing off for today. Come on back tomorrow and we'll talk about what happened. Okay? Have a great one. Talk soon. Bye-bye.